Hey guys, hello. I am at my library because we are starting a new vlog. Today is Friday, March 22nd, and Jen and I are going to read humorous mystery. It is a genre that I have read a lot. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. I have read the Finlay Donovan books and I just love reading them. They are just so fun, such a good time, such a light humor. The banter between Finlay and her friend, assistant, accountant, Vero is so funny, and I'm just really enjoying these books. And the fourth installment of the series just came out. It's Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice, and I really want to read this book, so I reserved it at my library. I came to pick it up today, and Jen happened to get a ARC copy of the book Swiped, which I feel like is another humorous mystery type book. So we thought it would be really fun to both of us read these books at the same time and to vlog it for you guys. So today I am going to be starting Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice. Also, while I was here at the library, I always check out their book sale, and I look for books that I'm interested in potentially reading, but I'm not sure if I like I don't want to go to the store and pay full price for them. But if I can get them for 50 cents or $1, read them. If I like them and I want to own a copy, then I will go to the store and buy my own copy. But to just get them for 50 cents or $1 at the library to read and see if you like it, to me it's worth it. And I have this book on my TBR and Goodreads, and it's The Island by Adrian McGinty. The Island by Adrian McGinty. And I have just been interested in reading this book. The ratings, let me check my computer. I don't think the ratings on this book are extremely high on Goodreads, but there's just something about the book, something about being stranded on an island, fighting for survival, that I think would be interesting to read, especially if it's in sort of a horror-esque setting. So the average star ratings for The Island is 3.78 stars, and that has almost 32,000 ratings. So that's a pretty solid 3.75 rating over many thousands of people, which usually I really want to look for books above 4, but for some reason, I really like this book, and there's been a lot of books above 4 that I haven't really liked, and a lot of books below 4 that I thought were 5 stars. So we'll see. We'll see how this one goes, but I'm going to purchase this one. And then I also thought to look for the second book in the Hunt the Stars series. If you guys watched our March secret TBR pick vlog, Hunt the Stars was recommended to me by a bookseller at Barnes & Noble, and I read it and really enjoyed it. I really liked it, and I want to continue the series. So the second book in that series is Eclipse the Moon, and I was able to find it at the library. I'm debating on whether to check it out now or wait, because I have so many books that I need to read for vlogs and for ARCs, so I can get out some ARC reviews for you guys. So I don't know when I'll be able to get to it. I don't know if I'll be able to read it all in the 21 days the library allows, or I might have to renew it, but I don't know if I should grab it. See, this is the problem, because I get to the library and I grab all these books. I'm like, ooh, I want to read that, I want to read that, I want to read that, and then I don't get around to reading it, and then I have to renew, and then months later I still have the book and I haven't read it. So I don't know, but I mean, the Hunt the Moon was a really fast read for me, so I'm thinking I can probably read this in a day or two, especially if I have time to dedicate to reading, which I might have some time dedicated to reading this coming up week. I'm definitely reading this, and I'm gonna vlog it. I'm going on a little vacation, and I definitely want to get around to reading this, but I might have time to throw this in there. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I don't really have all my vacation planned out, and there could be some downtime. So plus, what's more relaxing than going away somewhere and reading a good book? Probably not much. I mean, if you add a coffee maybe or a hot beverage in there, that's pretty relaxing. But other than that, I don't know. Also, I want to mention just really quickly, last night I finished The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. It is coming out on April 9th, and I am filming an ARC review for that. But if you guys have read Leigh Bardugo and liked Leigh Bardugo, you need to read this book. Even if you haven't read her yet, this book was so good. The ending was poetic. Like, the ending had me. The last 100 pages of that book, I couldn't stop reading. It's heartbreakingly beautiful. That's all I gotta say, and poetic. So if that's something that seems interesting to you, then check out my ARC review that is posted. I will link it in the description below.
Time for a vlog that we are doing on funny thrillers, and I am doing Swiped by L.M. Chilton. I don't feel like I've read a funny thriller before that I can remember anyway, so it'll be a little different pace. I don't know how this is gonna go because I haven't read anything like that, so it'll be interesting. And there is a quote on the front that made me really want to read this. It says, "If Bridget Jones had found herself in the movie Scream, murderously funny." And the author of Murder Your Employer was the one who wrote that. So let's dig in and see just what a funny thriller is like. Right, this isn't the first time I've read a book that takes place in Britain or London where there are phrases that I can pretty much figure out what they mean. And the beginning, I'm only 6 chapters in the beginning, they mention a hen do. And I kind of breezed past it because I didn't really know what it means. It didn't seem all that important to the plot so far. But they mention it like so many more times. And finally I was like, I'm just gonna Google what it is. But it means a bachelorette party, which I pretty much figured it meant something of the sort. But I've never heard of that. A hen do. H-E-N-D-O. 2 words. Never heard of it. And I feel like I'm gonna have a lot more of that as I read, because that tends to happen because a lot of the phrases, they just say a little differently. And we'll see what else I pick up along the way. And so far, it's definitely lighter and humorous, lots of jokes. And there's already been one person found dead. I can't say murdered because they haven't said murdered yet. It's just found dead. It has already started where she is dating and she starts to wonder what's going on. So continuing on. I'm going to give an example of some of the lighter dialogue and writing from Swiped because it is different than what I'm used to. Definitely a humorous tone, I would say, than my typical psychological thriller, which can be dark. There are dead bodies popping up, so it's still involving supposed murder. We don't have that confirmed yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be murder. Anyway, here is an example of the lighter writing. Gwendolyn Turner, the older guy, grunted, "Yes," I declared defensively, as if he was accusing me of being me. And while I was 100% guilty of that, I was pretty sure it wasn't a criminal offense either. Also in this scene, she is hungover from the hen do, as I learned was a bachelorette party. And she says this scene while the police are questioning her. "The low rumbling of paranoia I felt in the pit of my stomach was now accompanied by the sensation that somebody was very forcefully playing the bongos on my forehead. It was like a really shit conductor had decided to orchestrate my current predicament, and it was totally not helping." Another thing I noticed in this book, which keeps popping up in all the books that I'm reading, and I'm not sure if I'm just picking books that have characters that keep doing this or if it's, I don't know. In a lot more books, I realize at the end of this chapter, she keeps mentioning how she wants to vomit because the police are questioning her. She knows that someone she dated had turned up dead and she doesn't know what's happening yet. And she ends the chapter vomiting. And I feel like all the books I've been reading recently, the characters keep talking about wanting to vomit or vomiting. constantly. And I just noticed it again in this book, and it made me think, like, dear God, all the books that I'm reading have people that want to vomit all the time. Is this just a thing I'm just noticing now? Maybe it's just the books I'm reading. I don't know, but I'm going to keep reading.
Hey y'all, hello. I'm out of the library. I didn't get very far. I got to chapter 4 of this book, and the chapters are very short, but I am having such a good time. I forgot how funny these books are. And if you have not read the first 3 books, then skip ahead a few seconds, like maybe 20 or 30 seconds ahead, because this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler, so consider yourself warned. But I am loving Finlay's relationship with Detective Nick. I just think her and Detective Nick are such a fun couple, and I am so glad, and I was so relieved in the 3rd book too, when Finlay finishes that little love triangle, love interest thing with the bartender. I did not like that. I did not think they were a good match. I just feel like with him being in law school and younger than her, they were just at 2 very different stages of their life, and it just didn't mesh well. Like they weren't very cohesive, I didn't feel like. But I feel like Finlay and Detective Nick are just so fun, and I'm really enjoying them building their relationship, and I'm really enjoying him feeling like a little protective of Finlay, and I just think it's really cute. So there's some of that going on in the beginning, but the funniest thing in the book so far is Vero. The way that she has been treating Steven, her Finlay's ex-husband, is just so funny. Vero is just very snarky, and her banter is amazing, whether it's with Finlay or whether it's with Finlay's ex-husband. She's very mean to the ex-husband. Her banter's more mean and aggressive than it is with Finlay. But it's just so funny. The way that she puts him in his place, it just cracks me up. So, so far, having a really good time. Like I said, I'm not very far in, but I just know this book's gonna be a good time because I really liked all the first 3 books. And if you are looking to have a laugh and a really fun read, then I highly recommend this series. I know I've said it before and you guys are probably tired of hearing it, but you're going to hear it again, and you're probably going to hear it more in this video. But I do think this is like a good book for almost anyone to read. I can't think of anyone that would hate this book. I'm sure there are, but I mean, don't tell me about it, because I like them. I think they're good, and I'm having a good time.
All right, I had a theory, and I might be partially right. It's definitely more book to be read, so I'm not sure. Usually I feel like I may have fallen for the theory that they wanted me to fall for, so I don't know if I'm right or not, but let's see. Wait. So I am reading, and I feel like I just figured out who it really is based on the dialogue. I don't know, again, if that is placed for me to fall down into that trap to think it is this person. And I can't say it because I don't want to ruin it, but I feel like I know where it's going now. To quote the famous Star Wars Admiral Akbar,
it was a trap.
It's a trap. It was not who I thought it was yet again. So I'm very curious if my first theory was right, but I feel like now that was a trap. I don't know.
So we just drove through Pigeon Forge. We went to a couple of places, as you guys saw. We went to some outlet centers, which I don't think I recorded that, but that's just shopping center. We went to this place called The Island, Books A Million, Buc-ee's. But we are done driving through Pigeon Forge, and we are getting into Gatlinburg, and that's kind of going to be more in the mountains, more hilly, but there is a lot of like walking places and shopping and touristy things to do, so I am gonna bring you guys along for that as well.
Final thoughts on Swiped, and I was gonna make a pun and say that I would swipe right on Swiped. I know, corny joke. So I would swipe right on this book. I thought it was really funny, well done, it kept me guessing. I feel like it deliberately at times sends you... One second, my washer's on and I have a bad feeling you're gonna be able to hear that in the video. One sec. All right, I shut the door so that you can't hear my washer anymore. It is gorgeous outside today. I almost did a video outside because it is just, the weather is just so beautiful outside. Anywho, I was in the middle of making some really bad punny jokes. So as I was saying, I really enjoyed Swiped. It was humorous. There was the typical murders happening in a psychological thriller, and it didn't really get too dark at all. It was just the right amount of psychological thriller mixed in with this. And as I said, it kept me guessing. There were 2 guesses that I had and then ended up being 3 as to, ooh, I think this happened. And even as you go to find out what really happened in the final pages of the book, I still didn't guess what it was. So I feel it did a very good job of keeping you guessing and then finally letting you know who's behind everything. And I don't feel, sometimes a book does that, a thriller does that, and it's really far-fetched and was really not well done. Like, they're just trying to keep you guessing and they don't want you to guess it. So they have some crazy out there ending that just doesn't add up. But that isn't true with this one. It has you just rethinking what you had read and realizing, oh my God, yes, it was there the whole time. And I never suspected the person at all. So great job. I felt like that was completely well done. And as you saw, as I was reading this, I have read books that are from Great Britain, that they're located or placed in the UK. I feel I didn't really notice the slang or the British terms as much as this one, and it started to make me laugh a little bit. And I know I put the hen do in the vlog as I was reading this, but there were 3 other British slang. Somehow the recording just stopped, so I had to see where it stopped at. So it stopped where I was talking about the 3 terms that I wrote down because I wanted to talk about them. I had never seen them in any of the other books that take place in Great Britain or UK slang term. And I have read Sophie Cousins, and her books take place over there. I feel like there have been a few I have read that take place in the UK. But the 3 terms I actually Googled because I was like, I think I kind of can figure it out, but I didn't really. I thought I would just look it up in case. So the 3 are to keep stum. And that means to not to say anything about something. Basically, keep your mouth shut. And shtum is spelled S-C-H-T-U-M. Another one where it says she was talking about her boyfriend and she said that he wanted to up sticks. And I was like, what the heck is up sticks? It means to take all the things you own and go and live somewhere else. Last one, I kind of figured what it meant, but she said the word up off. You know, sometimes you can figure it out by context clues, but this one said cop off. It means to have sex with someone else. So it just reminded me, I grew up in Pittsburgh and there were a lot of Pittsburghese terms that when people from out of town, when I went to college, a lot of people would hear certain things and they're like, what the heck does, you know, whatever mean, red up. So in Pittsburgh, to red up means to clean up, to tidy up. And there's a bunch of different Pittsburgh terms. I can go on and on and on. But red up is one of the most, I would say, Pittsburghian terms that and yins. I don't feel like I use the Pittsburgh slang as much in my life. I've lived other places enough that I don't have that happen anymore. But I really enjoyed Swiped, and I would highly suggest it if you like thrillers, but you want something a little lighter and humorous. There was lots of humor infused into this book. Also, as you saw, a lot of British slang in this book. It goes on sale May 21st, and I highly suggest you put it on your May TBRs. I think this was such a fun, very quick, breezy read, but also kept you very invested. And as you saw with me, I did not figure it out.
Hey y'all, I am back from my vacation and I had such a good time. I finished Finlay, Donovan Rolls the Dice, and I actually finished this book during the ride down. We usually drive on our vacation because of the dogs. We bring the dogs with us, and so we drove, and we have some long car trips, and I honestly really enjoy the drive. I like looking at the scenery and seeing a lot of the sights. But I have my great Smokey Mountain sweatshirt on that I got at a gift shop there in Gatlinburg. But I did finish the book during the drive down, and I just adore this series. I think the series is so funny. I think the books continue to get funnier and funnier. After I read the third book, I checked Goodreads, and some of the comments on Goodreads was saying that they did not like the third book as much as the first and second, like the series was diminishing. But in my opinion, I feel like it's getting better. I actually enjoyed the third book a lot. I might have enjoyed the third book even more than the first two. And for me, and this is going to be a spoiler, so if you have not read the first three books, then skip ahead, 20, 30 seconds or so. But for me, the third book got so much better because that love triangle between Finlay, the bartender, and the cop is over, and it's just, I really did not like that love triangle situation. I did like the bartender character, but I did not really like that him and Finlay were romantically involved. I didn't think they were a good fit. So now that that situation's over and Finlay is completely dedicated to her cop boyfriend, I'm really enjoying the novels a lot more. I'm enjoying that dynamic. I'm enjoying that relationship. Not that the novels focus on that at all, because they don't. The novels focus more on Finlay and these crazy situations that she gets into, and her friend slash assistant slash nanny slash accountant, Vero. And Vero is hilarious. I mean, she is probably like one of the funniest characters that I have read in books, and I love her banter. Her banter is amazing. She's very, very sharp, quick, witty. And in this book, Finlay, Donovan's ex-husband, is along for the trip to Atlantic City, and Pharaoh is merciless. She cuts him every chance she gets, and I love it. It's so funny. And there's some kids. Finlay Donovan has kids, and her kids get her in funny situations. And I mean, I really enjoyed this book all around. I think these are really good books for any type of reader. It's a light, fun, quick read, and I give this book 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and it's a good time. I don't know what to say. It's a fun, light, good time. It was perfect for the car ride, and I highly recommend this series.
So thanks for watching as we did funny thrillers. I hope that, I have a feeling Amanda's going to really love hers because she's read so many Finlay Donovan, and she really enjoys those books. So I have a feeling she's going to really love her choice as well. So thanks for watching, and until next time.